I've been discharged. My bags. This is the hospital, and looks like we're going to get out in the pool today. So it's good news. Good news, and the best news is that obviously I went through all the tests and they're happy for me to fly. They had to get all my blood levels up and look at all the heart monitor stuff. They're happy with that. They wanted to stay and do a big dig around in my arteries, which I refused because, like, you ain't digging in my arteries here. No. I'll do that back in the UK. Not that I'm sure that they're very proficient, but if something goes wrong, which it can do with digging around in arteries, I just prefer to be at home and around family. So that was the decision making behind that. So get me on that plane and get me home. What's this?
This is a kada.
Kada.
We always give someone polite departure.
Oh, that's very kind. All right.
Oh, yeah,
Namaste.
Namaste.
Look at this. Fantastic. Right. Let's go negotiate a bit Kathmandu and then get our asses out of here. This is our ride. Alright, why are we not in this one? Been emotional. So back in the UK, we're actually having a bit of a blue Monday. We're going for a breakfast at Fox Hills for a bit of a cheer me up. So I found a nice spot to sit down, grab some coffee, grab a pen, grab a sheet of paper, and start to make some notes about the next steps and where do I go from here, and what should I focus on first? What's my priority to focus on from here? We start to think about, you know, how you make up the kind of rich tapestry of life and making sure you're not over egging each area. And so when I kind of think about it, I think about, you know, things like wealth, family and friends. I think about adventure or hobbies. I think about health, and I think about purpose, so sort of career, etc. That's the core elements, the core 5 elements I look at, and then from there you start to think, well, actually, have I hung out enough with grandparents that I haven't seen for a while, or have I looked at, you know, uni friends that I haven't seen for a while, you know, and you start to kind of audit these things and see these different structures. Think about investments, you think about, well, have I got my stock sorted? I've been really looking at the property stuff that I've been into. You know, when we think about adventure, you know, what's the next adventure, where am I going to? What about my hobbies? Have I got to get back into rugby, which I stopped because I didn't want to get injured before doing this one. Think about health, that's definitely the thing that I need to think about, but actually there's more than just one bit of health, isn't there? There's the physical health, but then there's also the mental health, there's even things like gut health. And purpose, you start to think about, actually, that's the career stuff, you know, career, and actually, am I hitting objectives, you know, am I actually hitting the results that I want to hit? And so this becomes the kind of tapestry of how you're putting together, and looking at that, thinking about, actually, have I got enough in each area? Am I doing enough in each area? Have I done too much in one place? I need to focus on something else. To kind of look at this kind of life balance piece, there's a fantastic thing in the One Thing book, which is all about high achievers. And a lot of people, when they actually think about their lives here, a lot of people stay in the comfort zone and work in this kind of like life balance comfort zone and not going to do things that are too crazy, whereas actually the high achievers look a little bit more like this, being extreme. So big adventures, for example, or big wealth or purpose journeys, and they're hitting big goals that they're trying to achieve. Well, the flip side is when you spend a lot of time trying to, say, hit wealth goals, then family and friend stuff goes for a long line. You think, oh, cracky, I've not spent enough time with family and friends. So you always need to be making sure that actually you're trying to peak other things in here, such as the families and friends, and actually work on it properly. Now, the problem is that it's peaks and troughs, so you don't want lots of peaks and troughs. So what you do is you actually build habits in the middle. So one of the things we do with the families, I always love to cook dinner every day, and we have a family dinner. So this family dinner becomes a habit that's in there. So instead of trying to stop the highs of the peaks and the lows by having a bit more of a kind of a normal life, you still want big peaks. You want to do big adventures. You want to get big wealth journeys. You want to have a big purpose, but you want to lock in these habits. So actually these things become normality. So you do have family dinners every single day. I do cook for my kids every single day. You know, I do the school run because I lock them into that, but at the same time I also give myself the opportunities to do adventures. Now, what I will see at the moment, there's a health peak for me because I went on an adventure and found out that I had this issue with the heart. You know, basically had, heart attack, potential, altitude, massive altitude sickness, heart attack, etc. So I need to really start to build up and move some issues that I've had in here. So I've had problems and pains in here that I need to move in, and actually I need to change some habits in here to work out, well, actually, when I had my strokes when I was 30, one of the things I had to do is then start taking warfarin every day to thin my blood so I wouldn't have any strokes anymore. Now I've had this heart issue, I need to look at, well, what was the reason why I had a heart issue, try and find the solution and put it into here and actually solve this heart problem, and therefore becomes a habit. And so therefore I don't peak as low next time when I go and try and do an adventure or a challenge or whatever it is. So objectives wise, clearly for me, is going to have to be around the health stuff, and I've got to work out what went wrong, and then how can I create a solution for that I can lock into habit, right? Because if I can create a solution for this health problem, i.e. this heart attack that I had, then get the solution, find out what the solution was. Maybe it's diet, maybe it's medication, maybe it's lifestyle, I don't know. I think I have a good diet and I am fit, but who knows? And then once we work out what that solution is, then we need to lock in habits to be able to create that and to solve that problem, so then I can move on and then book the next adventure, get back into training and get back into the gym, right? Because those are the things that ultimately I want to do. And so I've had a health issue, and then I'll lock it in. So therefore, what am I thinking about today? Well, I'm thinking about solutions, thinking about habits, and thinking about making changes to be able to make sure that I don't have these issues again.